It seemed like a normal day inside the Montecito mansion. Nothing felt unusual at first. But then something happened that left everyone there completely shocked. A former staff member says Meghan sat down and began talking in a way she usually never does. She spoke freely, without cameras, without a script, and without holding back. What she said next caught everyone off guard. Before we get into that, think about this. What if something you believed you understood was actually being carefully hidden from you the whole time? What if the story you were shown was only a small piece of something much bigger? That is the feeling people had after hearing what Meghan said that day. It was not loud or dramatic. It was quiet, and that made it even more unsettling. According to The Insider, Meghan started by talking about motherhood. She shared the same kinds of comments she often makes in interviews. The familiar lines about how hard parenting can be. The same polished thoughts she repeats when cameras are nearby. Everyone listening assumed this was just more of the same. Then something changed. Her voice shifted, her posture changed. She leaned forward, and in that moment the room felt different. The staff member says Meghan dropped a statement that made everyone stop breathing for a second. She claimed her daughter, Lilibet, has behaviors that are incredibly similar to Princess Diana, not just small similarities. She said they were so strong that they would shock the world. Let that idea settle for a moment. A 4-year-old child being compared to one of the most loved women in modern history. But Meghan did not stop there. She went on to describe her daughter's eyes. She said Lilibet has striking blue eyes, just like Harry's late mother. The way she talked about it felt intense, almost unreal. According to the source, Meghan seemed lost in her thoughts. Her eyes glazed over. It was as if she was already imagining the moment the public would finally see her daughter. The reaction, the headlines, the attention, and that leads to a very important phrase, what she has been hiding. Because despite years of interviews, public events, and carefully planned appearances, very few people have actually seen these children. Staff members who worked inside the household say they were never allowed to see Archie or Lilibet clearly. Think about that. People working inside the home, handling daily tasks, and still never seeing the children's faces. So why so much secrecy? Why hide your children even from people you trust to work for you? According to insiders, the answer is both planned and disturbing. They claim Meghan and Harry truly believe their children are their strongest asset, the final card they can play when nothing else works, and they believe that moment is getting closer. The former staff member who shared this story said one thing very clearly. Meghan did not speak like a proud mother simply sharing joy. Her words felt planned, careful, strategic. She reportedly said that when the world finally sees her daughter, everything will change. The meaning was clear. Meghan believes Lilibet is the key to bringing attention back to herself. She is treating this future moment like a movie premiere, carefully timed and fully controlled. And here is where the timing matters. This conversation did not happen randomly. It happened right after something else made headlines around the world. Just days earlier, Prince George appeared at a homeless shelter with his father. Photos showed him helping serve food with kindness and confidence. People everywhere noticed it. The images touched millions. Many said his gentle nature reminded them of Princess Diana. The comparisons spread fast. Headlines praised him. Social media lit up with admiration. Sources say this is exactly what triggered Meghan's comments. The timing was impossible to ignore. As Prince George was being praised for carrying on Diana's legacy, Meghan was privately telling staff that her daughter would shock the world with her own Diana-like presence. It suddenly felt like a competition over who truly carries Diana's memory forward. But there is a big difference that confuses many observers. We have watched Prince George grow up. We have seen Princess Charlotte show her playful side. We have laughed as Prince Louis stole attention at public events. These children are visible. They feel real because people have seen them. Archie and Lilibet, on the other hand, remain mostly hidden. Former staff describe extreme rules around the children. Certain areas of the property were off limits. Employees were told to keep their distance at all times. Even long-time workers say they never truly saw the children's faces. This level of secrecy goes far beyond normal privacy. And that creates a serious contradiction. Meghan often speaks publicly about protecting her children from media attention. She presents herself as a strong mother shielding them from harm. But at the same time, she has been accused of using them when it benefits her image. The recent Christmas card is a perfect example. The children were included, yet something felt wrong. Many people said the image looked pieced together. The lighting did not match. The poses felt stiff. Once again, the children's faces were hidden or turned away. For someone who says she wants privacy, Meghan seems to reveal just enough to create curiosity. According to insiders, this is not accidental. They believe she is building anticipation over time, waiting for one big reveal. And that leaves one question echoing through the mansion. What are they hiding? And what are they waiting for? The Christmas card was meant to show warmth, togetherness, and holiday joy. Instead, it caused confusion and debate. When Meghan and Harry released it, the response was not what they expected. Rather than praise and kind comments, people online began asking questions almost immediately. Many compared it to the Christmas card released by William and Catherine, and the difference stood out right away. William and Catherine's photo felt natural. It looked real. The family appeared relaxed and comfortable. The children looked happy and at ease. Nothing seemed forced. The setting felt simple and honest, like a real moment caught on camera. It did not try too hard, and that is why people connected with it. Now compare that to the card from Montecito. Harry looked unkempt. His clothes appeared awkward, almost sloppy. Meghan wore a see-through skirt, which confused many people. This was supposed to be a family Christmas card, yet the outfit choice felt strange and out of place. Instead of holiday warmth, the image felt more like a staged promotion. But the biggest focus was on the children. People noticed that Lilibet's hair looked messy, as if it had not been brushed. Of course, children do not need to look perfect. No one expects that. But this was an official photo sent out to the world. A small amount of care would have been expected, unless looking polished was never the goal. Photo experts and royal watchers began studying the image closely. Many reached the same troubling conclusion. The photo did not look real. It appeared edited. The lighting did not line up. Shadows fell in different directions. The way the family members were positioned looked unnatural, as if they had been photographed separately and then combined. Staff members who were around during the time the card was made shared their confusion. They said that even simple projects inside the household became overly complicated. Every detail had to go through Meghan. Nothing was easy. Everything required approval after approval. So how did this image, which so many people criticized, make it through? That question has only two possible answers. Either Meghan truly believed the card was perfect, or she has lost touch with how the public sees things. Either way, the result was damaging. Instead of showing a happy family, the card revealed something else. It showed a household struggling to present an image that no longer feels real. And behind the scenes, things were becoming even more tense. Every parent feels proud of their children. That is normal. But when Meghan talks about Archie and Lilibet, something often feels off. Her words sound practiced. The timing feels planned. It often seems less about the children and more about keeping herself in the spotlight. Think about the time she spoke on stage about Lilibet finding her voice. On the surface, it sounded sweet. A mother sharing a moment of growth, but the delivery felt scripted, like a line prepared in advance. Staff members say these moments are not spontaneous at all. They claim Meghan carefully plans these stories, rehearsing how they will land with the audience. Then there was the CBS interview. Meghan spoke with deep concern about protecting her children from the media. She presented herself as a mother fighting to keep them safe. Many viewers believed her. But actions tell a different story. While she speaks about privacy, she still brings up her children when her public image needs help. A photo released at the right time. A story shared when attention is fading. Mentions of Archie and Lilibet appear when sympathy or warmth is needed. Former staff say this is not accidental. They describe strict rules about when the children could be mentioned publicly. Every reference had to be approved. Nothing was left to chance. Each mention served a purpose. One former employee said this made them deeply uncomfortable. They expected to work for parents who put their children first. Instead, they felt the children were being treated like part of a brand. The kids were hidden from staff, hidden from the public, yet constantly used in words and stories to shape Meghan's image. The contradiction is hard to ignore. Meghan demands privacy while teasing just enough detail to keep people curious. She criticizes the media while feeding it carefully chosen crumbs. She presents herself as protective while reportedly viewing her children as future tools. Many staff members left feeling shaken. The difference between Meghan's public image and what they saw privately was too big to explain away. And as more insiders speak up, that image is starting to crack. Let us go back to the moment that started all of this. The private conversation where Meghan spoke about her daughter in a way that stunned everyone listening. Because when you look closely at what she said, her long-term plan becomes clear. This was not a casual comment. It was not a loving story shared in passing. It sounded like preparation. According to the insider, Meghan spoke about Lilibet with intense focus. She kept returning to the same idea again and again, that the world would be shocked, that people were not ready. Her voice changed. Her expression became distant. It was as if she was no longer speaking to the room, but rehearsing a future moment in her mind. What staff members understood in that moment was simple. Meghan and Harry see their children as their final backup plan. Everything else may fail. Deals may end. Projects may collapse, but the children remain. And especially Lilibet. According to the former staff member, Meghan spoke about Lilibet as if she were something priceless. She did not describe her as just a little girl growing up. She described her as something powerful, something that could change everything. She talked about her daughter's mannerisms, saying they closely matched Princess Diana. She talked again about the blue eyes, and she kept repeating one phrase, "This will shock the world." The staff member said it felt strange to hear a mother speak this way. Meghan seemed almost lost in the idea. Her eyes looked distant. Her voice softened, but her focus sharpened. It felt less like a loving moment and more like a rehearsal. What became clear to those listening was this. Meghan and Harry see their children as their final safety net, their backup plan if everything else fails. Netflix can walk away. Spotify already did. The foundation can shrink. But the children in Meghan's mind are untouchable. From a purely strategic view, the thinking is simple. Princess Diana remains one of the most loved figures in the world, even decades after her death. Any connection to her legacy brings instant attention. If Meghan can convince the public that Lilibet carries Diana's spirit, then the spotlight returns automatically. That is what disturbed staff members the most. They did not hear a mother celebrating her child. They heard someone talking about future value, about timing, about impact. Lilibet was being spoken about like a future asset, not a child with her own path. Sources say Meghan has talked privately about the right moment to introduce Lilibet to the world. Not slowly, not naturally, but in a carefully planned way. This would not be a casual photo or a chance moment. It would be staged, controlled, produced. Former employees say they still struggle with what they witnessed. Hearing a parent discuss how to use a child's resemblance to a tragic figure felt deeply wrong to them. Yet they say this was happening behind closed doors inside the mansion. Then something happened that made everything line up. Images from a homeless shelter spread across the news. Prince George was seen helping his father serve meals. His face showed kindness. His actions felt genuine. People everywhere made the same comparison, Princess Diana. The connection felt natural. It was not forced. Diana had brought her sons to that same shelter years earlier. Now her grandson was there doing the same thing. The public reaction was overwhelming. Just days later, Meghan began talking about Lilibet's Diana-like qualities. Sources say the timing was no accident. Prince George was being praised for carrying on Diana's legacy. Meghan could not allow that story to stand alone. According to insiders, whenever the Wales children receive positive attention, Meghan reacts. She closely watches how they are covered. She compares it to her own situation. Every glowing headline about George, Charlotte, or Louis reportedly triggers frustration, and often a response. The problem Meghan faces is one she created herself. The Wales children are visible. People have seen them grow. They wave from balconies. They attend events. They act like real kids. Over time, the public formed a connection with them. Archie and Lilibet do not have that connection. They are hidden, rarely seen, mostly known through words, not moments. Meghan has kept them out of sight while still expecting the public to care deeply about them. That strategy has failed. You cannot build affection for children people never see. So instead of letting that bond grow naturally, Meghan appears to be choosing a shortcut. She cannot match years of visibility, but she can make a bigger claim. A daughter who carries Princess Diana more strongly than anyone else. Whether that is true or not does not matter to staff members who heard her say it. What mattered was how desperate it sounded. The rivalry with the Wales family now seems to involve the children themselves. And that desperation becomes clearer when you look at what else is happening. While Meghan focuses on this future reveal, the foundation meant to support her work is falling apart. The Archwell organization has lost staff rapidly. Reports say several employees were let go just before Christmas. Insiders say many more are expected to leave. The organization is shrinking fast. But the problem is not just money. Former employees describe chaos, no clear roles, no clear goals, directions changing daily. People sitting at their desks with nothing to do, waiting for instructions that never came. Then came the most damaging detail of all. Public records showed that Meghan and Harry were spending about 1 hour per week on their foundation. 1 hour, for an organization meant to define their purpose. When that information became public, trust vanished. Donors questioned where money was going, partners stepped back. The foundation's reputation collapsed almost overnight. Staff members felt betrayed. Many had joined believing they were part of something meaningful. They moved their lives. They turned down other jobs. Instead, they found confusion and poor leadership. As people left, things only got worse. New hires walked into chaos and quickly planned their exits. Projects stalled. Deadlines passed. The Sussex brand took hit after hit. None of this surprised longtime observers. Stories about Meghan's management style existed long before this, but insiders say she refuses to see herself as the problem. Instead of reflecting, she doubled down. According to sources, Meghan has taken full control. She now reviews everything herself: budgets, plans, staff decisions. She has positioned herself as the leader of everything, pushing Harry further into the background. Inside the operation, people quietly say the same thing. She is in charge now. Harry, who was once presented as an equal partner, now plays a much smaller role. Sources say he handles side tasks. He shows up at events where he can earn appearance fees. He films content when needed. Mostly, he stays out of the way while Meghan takes control. This shift has changed the balance inside their work and their marriage, at least professionally, and it has raised serious concerns among the remaining staff. What worries people most is that Meghan does not seem to accept any blame for what has gone wrong. Projects failed, deals collapsed, employees left, but insiders say she believes none of this is her fault. Instead, she points to outside enemies. She blames the magazine profile that painted her in an unflattering light. She blames the article that described her as a difficult boss. In her view, the media ruined her success, not her decisions, not her behavior. Inside the mansion, the mood has become tense and fearful. Staff members say they walk on eggshells. Everyone is worried about being next. Trust is gone. People protect themselves instead of working together. What makes this even more troubling is how Meghan views her own success. According to insiders, she believes her best work is content she personally designed. She often points to one moment as proof: the baby dance scene from her Netflix series. In her mind, that moment showed her creativity at its best. But the public reaction told a different story. That scene was widely mocked. People called it awkward and embarrassing. Critics said it showed how out of touch the Sussex brand had become. Still, Meghan sees it as a win. Because of this gap between her view and reality, staff have stopped giving honest feedback. They nod, they agree, they quietly update their resumes. As the foundation falls apart and staff leave, Meghan's focus has shifted even more toward her children. Insiders say she truly believes Archie and Lilibet are the solution to everything she has lost. Plans discussed behind closed doors reveal how serious this belief has become. Sources describe ideas for unofficial royal-style tour. Meghan and Harry would travel to different countries, recreating the feel of royal visits without actually being royals. There would be staged appearances, carefully chosen meetings, plenty of photo opportunities. And eventually, the children. These trips would include paid experiences. Wealthy guests could buy seats at private dinners with the Sussexes. The money would supposedly support charity, though many doubt how much would actually go there. But insiders say none of that is the real goal. The real focus is the children. Everything else is just buying time until they are ready to be revealed. One former employee said listening to these conversations made them feel sick. The way Meghan spoke about her children's future felt cold, calculated, wrong. The line between family and business no longer existed. Recent moves fit this pattern perfectly. Meghan now calls herself an entertainer and content creator. That makes it easier to include family moments. A cooking show can show children in the background. A lifestyle brand almost expects it. Step by step, the groundwork is being laid. Staff members who questioned this direction were quickly pushed aside. Raising concerns about the children was seen as betrayal. Those who spoke up did not last long. Meanwhile, Archie and Lilibet remained hidden. They are too young to understand what is being planned for them. They are living normal child lives, unaware of the expectations waiting ahead. Former staff members keep asking the same question. What happens when the curtain finally lifts? Meghan has promised the world will be shocked. She has built this moment up for years. But once it happens, reality will replace imagination. Some insiders are deeply skeptical. A young child cannot carry the weight of such huge expectations. No matter how sweet or charming, no child can live up to a legend. And then there is the issue of trust. The public has become skilled at spotting staged moments. If the reveal feels forced or fake, the reaction could be harsh. People who might have felt warmth could instead feel manipulated. Time is also working against her. Archie is already in school. Lilibet will soon be. Children cannot stay hidden forever, especially when their parents seek attention in every other way. Whether Meghan controls it or not, the reveal is coming. Former staff members carry these memories with them. Many say they still feel uneasy when they think about what they saw. They worry about the future of two children growing up under this kind of pressure. Being viewed as a solution instead of simply being loved as kids can leave lasting damage. Meghan has placed everything on this one gamble. The foundation is failing. The Netflix deal has cooled. Spotify ended badly. Her lifestyle brand was mocked instead of embraced. One by one, the paths she chose have closed, and now only one option remains in her mind. The children. They are the last untouched part of her public image. The final card she believes she can play. She expects that when the world finally sees Lilibet, everything will change. That attention will return. That admiration will follow. That relevance will be restored. But there is a serious risk she may be ignoring. The world she hopes to shock may not react the way she expects. Comparisons to Princess Diana invite intense scrutiny. They raise expectations that no child could ever meet. Instead of love, the reaction could be skepticism. Instead of excitement, criticism. And if the reveal feels planned or manipulative, the backlash could be severe. Many people no longer take curated stories at face value. They question motives. They look for authenticity. And the Sussex brand has struggled with credibility for a long time. Former staff members say this is why they chose to speak out. They believe the public should understand what is happening behind closed doors. Not for gossip, but because two children are at the center of this story and they did not choose any of it. Archie and Lilibet deserve privacy. They deserve protection. They deserve to grow without being treated like future assets. Whether Meghan's plan succeeds or fails, the cost may be higher than she realizes. So now the question is not just about strategy. It is about consequences. Will this gamble bring the attention she craves, or will it expose everything she has been trying to control? Only time will tell.